Good morning on this Friday. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. It is January 20th. Hope your day is getting off to a great start. Coming up here on Mornings on Main Street, we will check in with our government reporter from Main Street, Nashville. She is going to break down the bills that have been introduced and filed into the legislature. Also this morning, we go behind the apron with Chris Yao. He has a family that's come all the way down from New York to bring diner-style food to Columbia, Tennessee. We'll have more from that location. And then we sit down with Miss Cheap to get her advice on freeze damage to your shrubs and what you need to do and why being patient is so important. And then she also goes over the forever stamps that you might be buying. So of that and more. But first, let's take a look at our headlines from our papers this morning. So we start with the inauguration for Tennessee Governor Bill Lee's second term, which is tomorrow. Now, if you are traveling in and around Nashville, keep in mind that you could come across some road closures. The inauguration ceremony will happen at Legislative Plaza at 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. For more information, head over to mainstreetnashville.com. 12 days and the doors to Jim's Antiques, which is set off Watertown Square, will close after 26 years of operating in Watertown. Jim's Antiques has been the spot to collect antiques, toys, special decor, and so much more. Learn more by reading the very nice piece on Jim's Antiques by Ken Beck at wilsonpost.com. Then Dixon County is one of the three areas where Dollar General is now offering a mobile health clinic. You'll find all the information there, plus where the other two locations will be located. For that and more, go to dixonpost.com. Well, it is time for our weather and what we can expect later this afternoon. It is Friday. Many of you making some plans with your friends or with your family. Justin Kulik has that for us, plus our funny joke for the day. But funny is relative. So let's see. What do you got?
You use the term loosely, but I think this one's going to get you in the audience here. What did the hurricane say to the other hurricane?
I don't know.
I have my eye on you.
Oh, I like that one. That one's good.
Does that one pass the test? I hope it does. Your weather.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Okay, we'll take that. That's whatever. That's fine. So your weather for today is partly sunny. It's going to be a little bit cooler out today. As you could see in my graphic there, I'm wearing a jacket and a beanie and all that. It's going to be partly sunny. The high is going to be 46. As we go into the afternoon, the low is going to be 28. Mainly clear, no chance of rain, just a little bit chilly. That's your weather for today. And I'll send it right back to you there, Steph.
Thanks, Justin.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Walmart Supply Center is hiring right now in Lebanon, Tennessee, where you can earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and flexible hours and all sorts of perks like 100% paid college tuition, a 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership, a free Paramount Plus membership, plus you get paid time off and a lot of other things. All you have to do to apply is text JOIN to 240240. Text the word JOIN, JOIN, to 240240 right now.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Well, there is a big weekend happening in Nashville. It is the inauguration for Governor Bill Lee. We have our government reporter with us, Vivian Jones, this morning. Vivian, we are so happy to have you. And I know you have probably a packed schedule from Friday evening until Sunday. Is that right?
It's going to be a busy couple days.
What can Nashvillians expect?
Yeah, so The inauguration of Governor Bill Lee's second term is going to be on Saturday at 11 o'clock. There are going to be some road closures to expect, but there's some inaugural events that are going to be happening throughout the weekend. Reception on Friday evening, inaugural worship service on Saturday morning, the inauguration ceremony on Saturday midday, and then the inaugural balls and festivities moving into Saturday night. But really, I mean, what's important to highlight here is Governor Lee has said that transportation is going to be really key coming up in this year. And for his second term, he's proposed the Transportation Modernization Act, which would be a big investment in road projects. The state has a significant underfunded road project backlog. Right now, TDOT takes about 15 years to complete a project on average, start to finish. So what Governor Lee is proposing is to authorize some toll lanes that would be put in more congested areas of the state, probably around Nashville and Memphis. And so that would be an optional lane where drivers would be able to pay a fee to use that lane to avoid traffic congestion on their way to work, to school, wherever they need to go. But right now, that's not permitted under state law. And so he's seeking legislative authorization to start basically the exploratory process, see like what would it look like moving forward. So we don't have a lot of details yet, but that's one of the main things that he's made clear is going to be a priority in his second term.
Very nice. Something we'll definitely be tracking, and hopefully you can just continue to keep us up to date on that. Looking at some other bills, what has been introduced and filed that we need to, I guess, make ourselves aware of as we move forward in the coming months?
Yeah, so after the overturning of Roe versus Wade last year, we have the Tennessee's abortion ban went into effect last August. So a big topic of discussion is making changes or introducing more exceptions to the law, which currently bans any abortion from the moment of fertilization until birth. And so right now, the law gives a provision essentially that doctors charged with criminal abortion can make a legal defense saying, yes, I did do that procedure, but it was necessary to save the life of the mother. But there is no exception for instances like rape and incest. House Speaker Cameron Sexton has said that the law needs some clarification. And there are also some top Republicans who have said they're working on sort of clarification or exception legislation that would change that law. Another big topic that we've heard a lot about, we had a big demonstration late last year on Legislative Plaza, but transgender surgeries for children who identify with sex other than what was assigned at birth. There's a bill that's been filed by Republican leadership that would ban surgeries for minors under the age of 18. Another topic of discussion, we're hearing a lot about the third grade retention law. About 73% of MNPS third graders would be held back under the law currently as it stands. Back in January of 2021, during a special session that was aimed at overcoming pandemic-related learning loss, legislators passed a law that essentially said that if you don't meet or exceed expectations on the annual TCAP exam, you will be held back in third grade. Or you can go to summer school or complete some tutoring. And so anyway, huge number of third graders that would be impacted. And that law is expected to go into effect later this year. So there's a lot of discussion around whether or not there should be changes to that, whether or not there should be more retention policies in earlier grades to kind of make that third grade cutoff less intimidating. And there's also discussion about a minimum age to start kindergarten. So we'll see some interesting things there as well.
Quite a bit to follow as we continue to move forward in 2023. Vivian, thank you. And where can we track all of the articles and reports from you?
On Main Street, Nashville.
Thank you very much for that. And again, we look forward to having you back quite often to keep us up to date on everything that is happening there in Nashville. So we appreciate you. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. All right. Thanks so much for sticking with us. We'll be right back after this. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Join me, Stephanie Miller, each week as we bring you the best of what's happening here in Clarksville. From the work of nonprofits to the latest events, highlights on local businesses, and also sharing you the stories of the beautiful people that make up the Queen City. Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. We are now traveling to Columbia, Tennessee, where Chris Yao takes us behind the apron.
From upstate New York to Columbia, Tennessee, Kate Vaca and her family have decided to make Southern Middle Tennessee their home, bringing with them some of their family's most sacred recipes and sharing them with everyone here in Murray County and in Columbia. So now join me as we get the full story and go behind the apron.
Well, we're from upstate New York, and if you've ever visited upstate New York, there's diners everywhere. So when I was young, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I began serving, and I served for about 8-9 years, and then I opened my own in my hometown. So just kind of always been something I've done and loved and passionate about. Tried to go to other careers, but just didn't have the same quality of people and fun, and just doesn't feel like work most of the time.
Vaca owned Katie Pie's Kitchen on Nashville Highway before closing last year and beginning the process of moving her business to a house at 2407 Pulaski Highway. When she began the process of moving, her two sons, Peter and Joseph, came along to add something extra to the restaurant's name.
So we've been in and out of it our whole entire life. When she was over there, it was doing well, and we decided to come along and help her out. And
because it's all about family when it comes to restaurants. All the recipes are my mom's or my mother-in-law's, and that's where it all begins anyways, family, and it just felt right. And I didn't think they would like it, but they really do.
The house has 2 different rooms for dining with a little more seating than the last place. It's decorated with plates her parents used among historical photos and other art pieces.
And it just, when I walked in the very first time I came to see this house, I just felt like I was home.
Kate says food for her is all about family. That's why after visiting her sister in Columbia several times for the holidays and falling in love with the area, she moved here as well.
It's just like sitting at your own table because it's all homemade. And we have all different soups. You can have breakfast or lunch, and the atmosphere is awesome. And now that we have this beautiful location, that adds to it.
Home is where the heart is, and where her family is now, and the family business has been thriving since its reopening. Peter and Joe aren't just here for their charm and cooking, however.
But the goal really is, I want to retire. I'm ready in a couple of years, and he's going to take the front because you always need someone to represent you out front. And Joe's going to be the person in the back of the house. So
he's a little better at the cooking than I am, but we both took to it, and here we are. In this whole process, we started our new Facebook page, and it just blew up. Everybody saying we love you guys, we can't wait till you're back, and it really showed this first week.
We just want to say thank you to all of Columbia and the surrounding areas for supporting us and making our first week so great.
Chris, thank you. I'm taking a look at the menu there, and I am looking forward to one of those omelets sometime really soon. Stay right here. We visit with Miss Cheap when we come back.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your nose, sir. Where you are right now?
Main Street Sports Today strives to bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of sports news and more from Middle Tennessee and beyond.
We cover the teams you care about from preps to pros and bring some of the most influential voices in sports to keep you in the know.
Tune into Main Street Sports Today each Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Download the Main Street Media TV app.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. So we are joined now by someone you've seen here on Mornings on Main Street. You know her column. You've probably seen her on Channel 5. We have Miss Cheap with us, Mary Hance. First off, Mary, thank you so much for your time.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be able to talk about some cheap things.
I always love a good deal, a good bargain. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, and we're going to start with the Forever stamp, because those stamps you mentioned are seeing a price increase.
Right. The price of the Forever stamp will go up from 60 cents to 63 cents on the 22nd, January 22nd. And I know that doesn't sound like much, 3 cents, but they've been going up and up and up. I mean, the Forever stamps were first issued in 2007, and there were 41 cents then. So I guess we should have bought them then, because, the way they work is you buy them at, like, if we buy them at 60 cents today, even after they go up to 63 cents, they still work. And so they're a first class stamp forever. And that's why they have the name. But it's a great way to think ahead a little bit. I mean, I think a lot of people don't even know how much a stamp is anymore. People don't write letters like they used to. And, you used to send all your bills in that way. And now, with automatic bill pay and online bill paying, there's just not that much. But I mean, my daughter was getting ready to send out her Christmas cards. And she said, "Mama, do you know that they're 60 cents each?" And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I mean, they are. That's how much the stamps cost these days. And so it adds up. So I think people should stock up.
I agree with that. And like you said, if we only would have stocked up in 2007 at, of course, their cheapest cost up until, for all of that time. My mother was always one to send cards through the mail. So she was, birthday cards, Christmas cards. So she has Forever stamps, or she would have those. Where can we follow and track any other price increase in the future?
Well, you never know when they're going to go up. The Postal Service, as I think everybody knows, they've been under pressure since the amount of mail, the volume's down. I think they said it's 28% down over the last 10 years. And so this is to make the Postal Service be able to stay solvent. But the thing I think people need to think about is, like, if you have a wedding coming up this year where you're going to be sending out a lot of cards, or think about your Christmas cards for next Christmas. I think this is the time to buy them, because who knows how much a Forever stamp will cost by 2030 or, in the future. The prices, I think, are likely to go up again at some point.
And did I read correctly that a Forever stamp is the same price as the first class stamp?
Yes, a Forever stamp is a first class stamp, and there are lots of different designs. There's some really pretty ones. There's some that would be perfect for a wedding invitation, or some that are their Celebrate stamps are some of their most popular ones. The first ones were the Liberty Bell back in 2007. And now, you can get everything from the American flag to some that are, just sort of frivolous and fun, or some flowers and different things that are, they're very attractive. They kind of make your letter look a little bit more frilly and nice.
That they do. Before we switch topics, do you have a favorite stamp design? What's been your favorite all these years?
I like the American flag, but I've seen a lot of them. I love the Christmas stamps, and they usually sell out of those. I like the religious Christmas stamps, the Madonna and Child, but they always sell out of them, so you can't get them. So that I think that makes them even more desirable as it does anything else.
I agree with that 100%. Well, now switching gears to a recent freeze that we have. And again, I'm sure we have more freezes to come, but the shrubbery that we're seeing, our landscaping really seeing an impact from that freeze. Now, you found out a little bit of information on what we need to do as we move forward. Because again, I know I don't like when my shrubs look poorly in front of my house. So what do we do now?
Well, I think everywhere I look, you see these brown, crunchy shrubs. And, people invest a lot of money in their shrubs. And I mean, I know I have over the years, and sometimes you wait for them to get large and be really, substantial landscaping. And they're looking terrible. And the big freeze a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, it wasn't that it got so cold as much as it was that the temperature dropped so quickly. And so I consulted with Amy Dunlap, who's an extension agent for the UT Extension Service. And, these people know everything. I call them the know-it-alls because they have lots of information, particularly on landscaping. And, she says, be patient. Don't touch it. A lot of people want to go out right now and prune it and, try to make it look better. But your best bet, she says, is to just wait it out, wait till spring, and then do the scratch test on it where you can just sort of scratch the stem and see if there's any green there. And hope spring's eternal, that there might be a little green. And if it is, then it's still alive. If it's totally brown, you may be out of luck. But I think a lot of people jump to conclusions with it, and you might as well wait and see, take a wait and see attitude, because there would be a huge expense for people if they wanted to replace everything all of a sudden.
True, because again, we will most likely see another either freeze or where that temperature changes pretty drastically from, from the 50s, 60s down to the 30s.
Right. But this was, the 50s and 60s down to below zero.
That's true.
And, I mean, I've never seen the landscape look this bad. And some of like the skip laurels and the nandinas just look terrible. And I have a lot of those, and, it just makes me sick. But, you've got to wait and see what happens. I mean, they may bounce back, some of them, and you may have to prune them a little bit in the spring and then baby them a little bit. But I think the landscape centers and the landscape companies are probably going to have a heyday this year with people buying stuff because they're having to replace so much. So I wouldn't replace anything you don't have to. So I think I'd follow Amy Dunlap's advice and wait and see and cross your fingers. That's all you can do.
Both fingers
right,
crossed.
both hands. That's right.
Oh, well, Mary, thank you. Is there anything else as far as the shrubbery that any advice that you have as we move forward? Because again, like you said, landscaping is a pretty costly output for some people.
It is. And, I think, one of the best resources is the Extension Service. And I would definitely consult them when you do have questions. But the other thing that's coming up every spring is that the American Legion, they have some auxiliary groups that sell landscaping every year as a fundraiser. And these have been wonderful sources for getting really inexpensive landscaping. Most of it comes from McMinnville, which is the landscape capital of the world, I think, with all the nurseries that are right there in McMinnville. And so these are very well priced. And of course, you're supporting the American, the American Legion, their veterans and their veterans' families. So I'll definitely be writing about that for Main Street and on Channel 5 too. It's one of my favorite stories because it's these women who are the auxiliary mostly, and they put on this sale and they sell literally thousands of trees and shrubs on a one-day sort of pickup deal. So you order ahead and pick them up, and somebody else gets the money. So it's good.
Well, we will be on the lookout for that. And for all of you looking to follow Miss Cheap, if you don't already, on Facebook, you can find her at facebook.com/Miss Cheap, and that's MS Cheap right there. Any other places that we can follow you, Mary?
Oh, you can follow me. You can send me emails at Main Street Media, and I love to hear from people. So let me know. And we're going to be doing some cheap lunches on Channel 5, and I'm going to be writing about those on Main Street too, because I love a cheap lunch at a local place. So if anybody has ideas for those, I'm always looking.
That makes two of us. I have to say, Sam's is my favorite.
Oh yeah, like the samples.
Yes.
Costco and Sam's samples are pretty good.
Mary, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks. Stay cheap.
Stick with us right here. We have more coming up on Mornings on Main Street when we come back.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
Here at the Journey Louis team with Benchmark Realty, we pride ourselves on the service that we provide our clients.
We believe in delivering a level of service that is above and beyond what is expected.
We don't cut corners and we are always available. We are committed to learning and continuously sharpening our skills.
We're social media experts, we're tech savvy, and we embrace change.
It is our unending desire to be our client's realtor for life. We are the Journey Louis team, leading you home.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Well, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. We have a birthday to announce today. We would love to wish a very happy birthday to Dakota Mercer of Spring Hill. Dakota, we hope you have an fantastic day. And for anyone celebrating a birthday, we also hope you have a wonderful day and a fantastic weekend. If you would love to hear your birthdays right here on Mornings on Main Street, well, believe me, we would love to share that with you and all of those watching and who sees this. So send in your birthday or even your anniversary to smiller@mainstreetmediatn.com. So we do have a couple of national days today, one being International Day of Acceptance. I do like that one. It's always nice to be accepted and just be kind to everyone. And then a fun one, it's National Cheese Lovers Day. I don't know about you, but I can be kind of cheesy most of the time. But when it comes to cheese, I can't pick just one. There's so many that are so good with meats and breads and crackers. And I really could just make a meal of cheese 3 times a day, I think. I know you're not supposed to do that. Well, I hope you all have a fun and safe weekend, and we do hope to see you back here on Monday morning.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Brimstone Arena.